Okay, just wanted to give a quick overview of the initial kind of multiplayer stuff that I put in here, just to kind of mess around with and see if I could get something functional working. Um, and I did learn a lot while doing it. So basically, if you're interested in trying it, the way that you start, if you want to just run multiple instances, you can go into the debug menu, customize run instances, and then you can set this to run as many instances of the application as you want. Then when you hit play here, when you start the project, you'll see that it's going to bring up multiple game windows, which I will try to squeeze into this space here, as you can see. Okay. Um, so I'm going to set these two up. So I've got two play windows here. So under the file menu is multiplayer down here. So in this case, I'm just going to create. You can just leave the defaults here. I'm just going to click create game over on this side. And then over here, I'm going to do file multiplayer. I'm going to go to join, and I'm going to join. And you'll see now it has the different players. So this is the host and this player, and this is you and player one. Player one inside Godot multiplayer is always just player number one. It can be named anything you want, but every player gets a number, and the host gets one, and all the other folks get kind of a random number. So now we're connected. So the two instances can pass messages. So you should create at this point just spawn components inside the host window. So we could put a cube in here. I'm going to make it big so it's just easier to see. And when I drop it in here, you'll see that it appears in the other window as well. I could do 3D over in this so I can keep them. And then when I move things around, you'll see that it moves around in both windows. Oh, it's not doing the update for the stacking. I'll have to fix that. I can also move them on this side, so you can move them in either window. There is a rudimentary locking thing in there. I got to get that fixed. Or really do more testing, because I don't have an easy way to try to have two people try to grab something at the same time. The other thing that you can do, and another thing to keep in mind just with the multiplayer, is that there's only certain types of components that are currently supported on the insert. Right now it's cubes, disks, tokens, and dice. Decks and meeples are not yet supported. They won't spawn across each other. It's going to maybe freak out or do something. But you can do tokens. So I could do my old pal, the VP token. Um, and say VP plus 100 on this side. I'm going to make it a nice big chunky token. Okay, and you'll see the token is over here, and it's got both sides on it, so I can flip. You see the flip does not propagate, so that's one of the things, again, that kind of needs to happen. In fact, it's not even letting me flip at all. It does move, but it's not respecting the command. I'll have to see about that. Anyway, so that's very, very rudimentary stuff for multiplayer. And like I said, I kind of learned a lot about, now we're going to have to be sending commands and different things and stuff like that. But hopefully this is enough of a framework to build on. One thing I did find is that when it creates the component, it actually sends the build parameters across, but because they're set as an object and it's translated to JSON, there's a whole translation layer that needs to go in there to translate the JSON object array back into what the actual data types are. So you can kind of check out, there's a whole class called JSON utilities, and that's why I haven't done the other elements yet for DEX and stuff like that. So that's multiplayer. The other cool thing that's in this version is, I'm just well, is that you can now completely do full round trips. So if I edit, I can right click on any component and click edit and get back to the form. You couldn't do that before. So you can do that with here and get back to the original form and modify it. And when you modify it, if you've got multiple instances of the object, it will update all of them. So for example, if I edit this cube, if I change it to blue, whatever, and I could even change the size, so I can make the width 60, right? And I update, it updates everything. It does not propagate updates across on the multiplayer yet, so there's a lot of connectivity and stuff like that that needs to be done. It's basically some hooks, so whenever certain events are being triggered, the update event should send the data over. I just haven't done it yet. That actually is going to be relatively simple. Um, You can also get to that update menu from the prototypes. Again, if I edit the prototype manifest, I can get to any of the get to any of the objects if they're really big. There's a clipping issue here that I got to fix. But I can hit this pencil and I can get in and I can edit it from there. That's basically the stuff that I kind of wanted to show for this update. There's a bunch of work that could be done around multiplayer if we think this is a reasonable basis. Again, it's just using kind of the core Godot multiplayer. So it'd be very easy for me to point people in certain directions to start doing stuff and start adding in some of these commands or dealing with maybe a more unified way of these commands get sent over and just making sure that we're staying in sync. It is kind of server authorized. The intent is for it to be set up with not strictly a peer-to-peer, all peer-to-peer, but that the host unit does actually act as kind of a central authority. So all the clients, if something was on a client, it sends it to the server, and then the server echoes it back out to all the other clients. It doesn't quite do that yet, but it's kind of semi-set up to do it that way. That's basically it for this. Looking forward to feedback and other folks jumping in and starting to tackle some of this stuff.